we're on. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dee. Hi, Jinky.
Hi, Sandy.
Sandy.
Hi, Jinky.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. We are just waiting for everyone to log in.
Fantastic. So while that's happening, I'm just going to share something with you guys, and that is to say that we keep getting so many questions that we're getting through all of them. So if you've got more questions, keep them coming, because what we might do is do a deeper dive into some of them in our next couple of webinars, so that you have more information on those particular questions. But we thought we'd do part 1, Dee, and we're on part 3. So, which is great.
I'll say. Excellent. All right, we're just getting people are logging in now. I can see them coming in. Welcome, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning. So let's just start as they come in. They'll get the recording anyway. So you've got some questions, Dee, ready to go, I think?
Yes, I do. Okay, so Sandy, this is a question that comes up quite a bit with LinkedIn, and it's, what is a pod?
Interesting.
Because you and I use pods.
We do.
Yeah.
So pods are really, it's just a smart name for a group message. And a pod is something where you would have a group message of maybe 5 or 6 or 7, maybe even more, 10 people, that you would bring them all together, and you could drop your links in there so that you can engage easily. Now, I don't know about you, Dee, but for me, I have about 27,000 followers, so I lose people everywhere. So pods work really well for me. So a couple of people that I partner with, which, obviously you're one, Dee, when we're in a pod together, I always see your posts and I can interact. And I have a few other people that I do that with. One in particular is somebody who does a lot of marketing, because I really like their information, and our relationship has moved from just being a connection and me not really knowing anything about this person to actually deepening our connection, that we always like each other's stuff and comment. And that's another reason why people start pods, because I put a post out this week, if you ever put post out and nobody even likes it, it feels demoralizing. Now, it's not because nobody likes it, it's because you're not engaging enough. That's LinkedIn's way of saying to you, you're not engaging enough with your audience, right? You've got to work it.
Yeah.
So a pod is basically a group message where you ask a group of people to come and all have the idea of liking each other's and commenting on each other's posts and articles.
Yeah, I would call it like it's basically your collaborative network.
It can be.
So they're not necessarily people who are going to use your services. However, it's who they know. Yeah. Because if you're not in a pod and you open up LinkedIn, you've got this massive news feed, and it's amazing. But then you could be there all day, reading lots of news feeds from people that you don't know, which is great. But a pod is like making up your little LinkedIn network, and
it's deepening your connection.
Yeah, absolutely.
With those people. But you're right. Most of the people in the pods that I work with, some are clients, some aren't. Some may never be clients.
Yeah.
Some might be, some might be people who just want free stuff around LinkedIn and don't want to buy my services or your services, Dee, or our LinkedIn program. That's okay. Yep. I have, and there'll be some people out there today listening to this who will just take all the free stuff and go off and do it themselves. Good luck to them, I say. Yep. That's the way it is, right? But also you hope that they also give back by commenting and reading your stuff, because that's a form of a relationship as well at the start of the funnel, if that's what you want to call it.
Yep, and they also have a network too that they will share stuff with. So if it's valuable, and this is the thing, if you're putting valuable information on LinkedIn, you want that to be shared amongst other people, because it comes back to you.
A strategy of running more engagement through to your posts and articles. And one of the, we talked about last week, but one of the biggest mistakes people make is only inviting their target market. You need people who are like-minded to you. So for example, I wouldn't call myself a traditional marketing person, but I do marketing, right? So if it gets to the point of digital marketing, I would go down the line of digital marketing. I would bring in an expert who's a digital marketer, you know. But so it's good to have good to have other coaches and people who do what I do, because they're interested in the things that I talk about, like leadership and innovation and those types of things.
Yep. Sorry, I'm just checking, making sure there's no other questions. There is, for the guys that are on today, there is a section there that you can ask questions live. We've got questions that people have already come through to us with. The next question in here is, how do you amplify your results?
Okay. So I think, Dee, that might be a question for you. How do you amplify your results? If you've got everything working right, okay, so there's no point amplifying your results if your results are zero, right? Then you're amplifying zero. Now, 0 by 1 billion is still zero, right? So first thing you need to do is make sure that your LinkedIn profile is working for you, is current, and is driving the outcomes you want. So if you want a job, is a very different outcome to if you want to engage in leadership training. Right? So you need a different profile depending on you. So that's the first thing, right? So then the next thing, to amplify it, once you've got that working, and you'll know you're getting that working because you're starting to get some results. You might not be getting massive results, but you're getting some results. The next thing is to amplify it. And how I amplified it is I've used your services, Dee, with a VA. I've got the VA to do the grunt work behind LinkedIn for me, the messaging and contacting people. And all I do is the actual connection with that person. So my VA gets the connection and the introduction, and then I take over and I build the relationship.
Yep. And so when we're talking about results, absolutely first and foremost, decide what are your results, start getting them yourself, and then to amplify those results. Exactly what Sandy did. And Sandy, you started this journey, was it last year with a VA to reach out to connect to all your people? Was it last year or the year before? Possibly the year before. So, and I remember you were quite strategic. You said, I need to be connected to these kinds of people. And so you had a target market that you needed to be connected to. But if anyone's ever been on LinkedIn, I called it the LinkedIn black hole. I did this for an old boss 6 years ago. She also had a specific target, and I would just sit there constantly finding the people, reaching out to them and saying, hi, can we be connected?
That's the first step. And that was the thing. That was the first step that the VA did. The second step is having content, because content is king, and LinkedIn has changed. So content is king. The next thing is having the content. And then the third thing is having people engage in that content, right? Because the thing is, my end users don't all engage in the content. The people who are engaging in my content are my peers, like my coach, like people who are coaches, who are marketing experts, like UD people I've got partnerships or alliances.
It's your network.
My network are there. And then I get my clients, which is the third step, which is further out my second connections. We need to have all of those things working. Otherwise, you're only just doing one bit of the step of the process.
Now, another one is, why is LinkedIn not a one-size-fits-all platform?
So LinkedIn started, and I saw you commented to someone in one of our pods actually this week, Dee, so I wonder if that's where that question's come from. LinkedIn started as a platform for people finding a job. And it still works brilliantly for that. So I've also got a few clients that I work with that are looking for work and want to do, you know, a CV and really in sync with what they want. So goal setting around their jobs, making sure their LinkedIn profile's right, and then engaging with people that can get them in front of the right people. Because sending a resume, answering a job doesn't always work, right? So it's layering it again, like what we're talking about. So LinkedIn is not a one fit shop for everybody. So if you're looking for lead generation, for example, which a lot of the people here are, if you follow the LinkedIn program that they put up there, it tells you what you should write, but it tells you from a point of view of getting a job. It's assuming it knows what your outcome is. But your outcome in writing your profile will be very different if you're looking for a job to if you're using it for lead generation.
Yeah, and I think this was the conversation that did come up in the pod, Sandy. I used an example of a client of mine. She was a BDM for a company, and she was looking to obviously use LinkedIn to find her target market, which it is so great at doing. But then when I went onto her profile, I literally said to her, I said, but your profile doesn't tell me what you do and what solution you can give me. Your profile looks like you're trying to get a job. so if she was, yeah, exactly. So here she is, so she's trying to find, so she's trying to connect to potential leads to say, hi, I've got this solution, grab a coffee, whatever her pitch was. If her potential lead then goes onto her profile, it doesn't tell them anything more about her or the company she works for or the solution she gives. It says, hi, I'm the world's best BDM.
So in that point, Dee, that goes back to in our training on our, wonderful LinkedIn training that we have, online training.
Of course,
we give you 5 of the top things that you need to do instantly to get an all-star profile. And the thing is that's at the very beginning. So this is what I'm talking about in our first question. We might have gone all the way down here and we're doing all this stuff and we've employed a VA and blah, 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 and we're still not getting results. Why? It's because we've missed a step somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
So you've got to make sure that you've got all the steps in sync, right? And sometimes we can't see that ourselves. It's a little bit like when you're driving down the street or driving in a car and you can't see your blind spot, right? You just can't see it. So the LinkedIn, our Do It, for you, LinkedIn will give you all of those gaps in your knowledge, and you can go back and check your work. At the same time, you need to make sure that you've got, it's like a builder has to have strong foundations, right, to build the house, right? So you've got to make sure these things, otherwise you're wasting your money at the other end. Yeah,
you're putting a roof onto a building whose foundations aren't right, and then when it falls crashing down, you're like, what just happened?
Yeah. And see, this is half the reason why we started the LinkedIn training, was because people were coming to both of us when they had a VA or coaching or whatever else, asking the same questions.
Yeah.
And so we went, we'll just have a process, and then everybody can go through the process, and then they've got it. Because some people will need to know this bit, some people will need to know this bit. Everybody's knowledge gap, is different.
Yep. Just another question.
By the way.
Sorry?
What time are we up to, by the way?
10 minutes. Yes. What is your most recent success story using LinkedIn? Are they using you or me? You go.
I just assumed that I don't know. I was just going to answer it, Chinky. Was that all right? I was going to say the most simplistic one. So one that I will share with everybody that's really, really easy. And that is just saying congratulations when somebody's moved jobs, or happy birthday, right? And today I had a client that I haven't seen for a number of years, an old client that I did some leadership work with, I think Extended Disc or something I did for him. Oh gosh, I think it might have been when I started my business, so 6 years ago. And he's moved jobs, and so I didn't actually send him a message, I've got to be honest. My VA sent a message as me, congratulations, and he came back with this big spiel. And so, you just go, how easy was that, really?
Yep. And I've done the same. I've just reached out to old connections of mine, and I can't remember if it was an anniversary that prompted it or on LinkedIn or something. And it's been, mind you, 18 months. So I probably last spoke to this person, I'm going to say 10 years ago, before children. And I've done so many changed industries so much, and now I'm doing what I'm doing, which is helping small businesses find their VAs, and she's now a client of mine. And so that's the thing about LinkedIn. It doesn't matter where you go in the world and what you do, you're still connected to your connections. I wouldn't have her business card. She wouldn't have my current business card because it's been 10 years. So it is just about having that network. And yeah, occasionally, if, as Sandy said, if they've changed jobs or something, just making it personal and going, oh, hi, I noticed you've just changed jobs, and starting that conversation again.
See, it's just being real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, oh, how are you going? Like, not how are you going, because I want to know whether I can get business out of you, right? And I think that's a big one.
Natural.
I had someone track me down in my old, when I was running the wholesale travel business, so that would be 8 years ago, track me down and say, can you come and do some extended disc profiles for my team?
Yeah.
And that was out of education.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, anybody can connect with you, but it's actually being active and, you know, sort of engaging. And look, you know, for every, I don't know what the statistics are, but for every 20 or 30 messages that you might send back, you might only get one but it'll be the right time.
Yes.
For them.
Yep.
And the right time might be next week, and then they think, oh gosh, I got that message from Sandy or Dee or whoever. Oh, I must have a look at. Oh, she said that, and then they go there. So,
Yep. And then just one more, Sandy, and we're at the 14-minute mark. Why having deeper relationships helps increase your business success?
Well,
is that what we were kind of
leading into this question, isn't it? So it's about having the deeper. Look, it's great to have 27,000 people that I'm connected to on LinkedIn, right? Because people look at it and go, wow. But at the end of the day, I don't know 27,000 people, right? I don't. And at the end of the day, they're there. I can't connect with all of them all of the time, other than building and how you build it is by having closer connections.
Yeah.
So in my pods, for example, and you're both in my pod, you come in and then you start liking it and then it builds. And so then my message gets out further and further and further. But you do, it's having that, closer connections to people. LinkedIn isn't about, meeting someone and then, bang, we're business partners. It's about that. It's about meeting the connection. Connecting to the right people so you can start building.
Start the conversations. Yeah. Cool. Excellent. All right. I'm going to call time, but before we go, I
know where you are.
I know there may be people sitting there going, "Is that Dee's lounge room?"
With Fraser. I'm waiting for him to come out. Is he there?
Or his dad to sit on his couch.
Yeah.
So for anyone who's been sitting there going, "Why, I know that lounge room." It is from an American sitcom. I don't know how many years ago it was, but it was called Frasier.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah. Lovely. All right. I will call time. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for attending.
And before we go, I've just got a little bit of exciting news for those people who are here today and are interested to keep, coming to our webinars. Next week, we've got a digital marketing expert coming to talk to us about who, by the way, I met on LinkedIn.
Of course. How else do you do it these days, Sandy?
Well, that's the thing. Absolutely. So she's going to pop along and we've got some questions for her. So because I think it's really tying really well.
Yeah. Brilliant. All right. Thank you very much, Sandy and Jinky. And thank you everyone who attended today. And of course, there will be a recording for everyone sent out. Lovely. Thank you very much. Bye. Bye.
Bye, Fraser.
Yeah. Frasier's dad. See you later.
Music now. We need the music.
I'll cue it for next time.
Okay, no worries. I'm looking forward to the next room.
Yes, I'll think of something. Thanks. Bye, everyone.